I think what Think Tank did for us that was extremely valuable is they got into our heads and said, and asked the questions to understand what we were trying to achieve. And in doing that, they were able to come up with ideas in areas that we hadn't specifically asked. So they helped give naming conventions to some of our services and some of our products. They helped give complete recommendations in terms of any activity that we might be considering in the marketplace. Every month or periodically, they would come with literally a mini report or a list of suggestions on things we might consider, and we would go through and look at how does it fit and how do we make it happen. They always challenged the edges. There were a number of times where I said, that's a great idea, but there's no way that I want to do that. And I think that they understood that we weren't going to do everything, but the value was in making suggestions of not just the normal, but the unique, and call it outlandish. And I'm too conservative for the outlandish, but others may not be. I think to start, I was very impressed with the analysis, the upfront gathering of information, the extensive interviews, talking to our entire staff, really and in-depth interviews, really getting information about who we were and what we were about and what we wanted to become. That was very impressive. I always appreciated the written recommendations, the reports that, although we certainly never did everything that were in them, I always liked the fact that constantly coming back with, here's something else to think about, here's something I observe, here's a recommendation. And it was out of the box thinking. And I think, the fact that we developed a relationship and it was ongoing, and that we would be able to call Griff at any point and say, we're thinking about this, or this opportunity came up, and it was a free-flowing relationship, but at the same time it was very focused on certain goals. And so that was, to me, a unique relationship. Again, it wasn't the typical marketing guy or approach that I'd been familiar with, where somebody said, well, tell us what you want and we'll put together an ad campaign and we'll do it. And it wasn't that. So I liked being able to call a resource for any aspect or question that we had. And when I have talked to other people about Think Tank and what Think Tank did for us and what I think they could do for others, I almost always reference that we really liked all of the look and feel of everything that was put together. And I think what they brought to us is what every organization is looking for, and that is, how can they prepare or develop materials, a marketing presence, and not just marketing, but how do they approach the marketplace in a very professional, very coordinated, very unique way. And I think that's what Think Tank did. They are not the group to call on, I would suggest, if you just want somebody to put together a very boring ad and stick it in a newspaper and go on down the road. The value was not in the specific details or the specific pieces that produced, as much as it was the overall relationship, the coaching, the coordination, everything coming together. And I think that's where the value was. And it wasn't probably the cheapest option that we could have had. I'm sure it wasn't the cheapest option. There would have always been somebody that could tell us they could do it for less, but nobody could have coordinated it and done as good a job. Number one is, we could always call Think Tank with a question. Our marketing director, I know, was constantly calling and just saying, hey, I want to bounce something off you. I want to get your ideas. And we got 110% response. In fact, sometimes we had to caution, don't do anything on this. We just want a suggestion or opinion. So I think the accessibility, that, and I think the other thing that meant more to the relationship than anything was the personality and the personal comfort. We are extremely comfortable with Griff, and you want to do business with people that you like and people that you share the same values, and I would believe that's one of the biggest reasons that we continued to work with Think Tank.